Making your drums hit is super easy. This is the best trick for leveling out your sounds properly and always getting a good mix. And by the way, all the sounds I'm using for this beat are from my new Crisis bundle, which has over 500 sounds and files. That means FLPs, MIDIs, one-shots, presets, drums, and so much more. You can sign up for the early access waitlist now down in the description below. This means you'll get early access, the best discount price on the early access release, and the chance to be in a video with me once you buy the bundle. So once again, you can sign up for the waitlist down in the description below, and you can only sign up for the waitlist for the next 7 days. All right, let's make the beat. That's hard. All right, let's chop that up real quick. Quickity quick. By the way, quick life tip, if you're working with a loop and you want it to transition more smoothly, just come into declicking mode and press generic, smooth, crossfade. Any one of the bleeding options will work. You might need to mess around with it just to find which one works best for you, and it's more on a case-by-case basis. And as you can see, that just makes the audio crossfade. Let's get like a clap or something. Ooh! Like slap a hi-hat MIDI in there. I think this is the one I have to go with. This one's too crazy. Oof. Let's get like an accent snare. Ooh. What if I do like a little mini snare roll here? That'd be kind of cool. Something like super basic. Okay, we're not gonna keep it in this bar. We'll just have it on the 8th bar, just to add some bounce at the end. Damn, these are clean. I'm saying this like I didn't make the kit. I don't know, it's just every time I open this kit up, I forget how much I enjoyed the sounds that I made. Mind you, I didn't make all the sounds. I made some of them with Wither and Saint Zark. But damn. Let's throw in another open hat too. What's crazy? Now the 808, there's like 40 808s or so this is gonna be hard finding the one. That's kind of clean. I like that. Jeez. Low-key, like, first tip, this is the greatest thing I ever learned to do with my 808s, and that's literally the most simple thing ever. It's just turning them up. So you can just go in here and turn that EQ knob way up, however much up you think it needs to go. And going in conjunction with that, you want Fruity Soft Clipper on your master. You want the default settings unless you actually know what you're doing. So this is set to -4.4 decibels by default, so it's going to clip at -4.4 decibels. And this is the post gain knob. It's going to determine how much the volume is going to increase after you do the clipping at the threshold. And keeping with that example, sometimes your 808 might not be in mono and it might not sound the cleanest. And to tell if it's going to be in mono, it'll look something like this. And if it's going to be in stereo, it'll look something like this. And to put it in mono, you can just come down here and turn this knob all the way to the right, and now you'll see it's in mono. Sometimes having your 808 in stereo can cause phasing issues, so just be a little bit careful with those. So sometimes your melody will have a little bit too much low end, and this will clash with your 808. And realistically, to make your 808 hit harder, you want to take out some of that low end from the melody. This will free up some space in the mix for the 808. So usually I'll cut around like 90 hertz, maybe 100 hertz, depending on what sounds best. Another way to make a little bit more room for your 808 without having to turn things down is to put your melody a little bit more in stereo. So same thing, this little knob down here, you can just turn it a little bit to the left, and this will put it a little bit more in stereo. So a good way to think about it is stereo's coming at you from both sides, whereas mono's coming at you directly in the middle. So if you free up some space in the middle by moving the melody to the sides, you have more room for that 808, which might be in mono. And this way you can achieve a louder mix without compromising the quality of anything. This is sort of mixing related, not really, kind of, and that's making sure you don't have an 808 and bass playing at the same time. Because they're low frequencies, they will clash. So as you can see here, this bass is going to cut off right when the 808 starts. Now the same thing with the 808 and the bass goes the other way. You don't want the 808 playing or even the tail of the 808 playing while the bass is playing. So usually what I like to do is I like to make a new pattern, put a note just down, and then bring the velocity all the way down. If the 808's on cut self, it'll stop playing. Now this is the most important thing for mixing, and that's leveling your sounds out properly. This is the best trick for leveling out your sounds properly and always getting a good mix. Find a part of your beat where all the sounds are playing, or at least most of them, and it's important to keep in mind what should be the loudest and what shouldn't be the loudest. So for example, if you're making trap, your 808 should be the loudest part of your beat. So you can play just your 808 and the melody together. And just adjust the volume of it until it sounds good to you. But you still want it to be loud so that it's hitting and clipping with the soft clipper. The next loudest thing in your mix should be your clap or your snare, but it should be quieter than your 808. So again, keep everything muted other than the 808 and the melody, play all the sounds together, and just adjust the volume until it sounds good to you. And just rinse and repeat this for all of your sounds. So your accent snare should be quieter than the clap. It should be roughly around where the hi-hats are too. Now your open hats should be the quietest portion of your drums, and this is because they have a lot of higher frequencies in them. And another nice thing you can do with your drum mix is adding some panning to some of your drums, and this kind of goes back to the stereo thing I mentioned earlier. It just opens up a little bit more room for your drums. So I have two open hats. I'm going to pan one to one side, and I'll pan the other one to the other side just a tiny bit.